What's up, everybody? It's Kalaveet, and today I'm narrating the match between M-Dragon, who's playing for the Tigers, versus Mako, who's playing for the Stark Sharks. Before we get into this one, I have a little announcement to make, and half an hour after this video is going to go live, at 17 o'clock Berlin time, that's +1 Greenwich Mean Time, I'm gonna be live at twitch.tv/Kalaveet, and we're gonna be hardcore nuzlocking some Sterling Silver. It's a brand new difficulty hack set in Johto. You got lots of cool buffs. Sunflora is a grass fire type, Rampardos is rock dragon, and actually not useless because he's fast. Be there or be square, holla at me or be an Ackley. It's gonna be fun. Now, let's get into this match. Before, though, I just want to say M-Dragon has been bringing the Mazar bot. I don't know how he gets all these counter matchups, but I want to see what he pulls out in this game. Okay, Zapdos lead versus Pert, okay? Pert, yeah, usually indicates Fortress because Pert really easily switches into Fortress turn 1 to lay some spikes, and M-Dragon just scouts twice with a roar. Mako just takes that spike here. That's an unfortunate para on this Fortress that might come in really clutch later. Mako probably has a pretty defensive TSS here with a Tyranitar here. That could also be a Salamence or an Aerodactyl for some offensive pressure. This Tyranitar very likely has to be a Pursuit Tyranitar. And from M-Dragon we can't know for sure yet. It might just be some offensive spikes. Not sure about the exact damage rolls on Forry, but that seems like a pretty offensive Zapdos to me. And for now, Mako's also just scouting with and getting some chip with those roars in. Gengar also makes sense on Fortress, yeah, just to prevent some spins. And we seem to have a defensive Rachi here, a Fear Rachi, given that it's just revealed Toxic and Fire Punch here. M-Dragon still has to reveal a Rock Resist, which could be a Swampert, for example, or a Claydol. Claydol would pair well with Suicune. A nice catch by Mako there to mitigate the damage that Wish would do, or rather mitigate the mitigation of the damage, I guess. But yeah, this Skarmory is in pretty good shape again. It might just get up 3 layers here. If M-Dragon does that, I think he probably has a Gengar though, because he wouldn't go for 3 spikes here and just have the Forry spin those away, right? Or well, he might also just go for Pex, so maybe it's not Gengar because it also doesn't fit on the structure that well. Maybe he's just down to peck this and have spikes go up on his side. That paralysis is likely to come into effect at some point here. It's been quite a few turns, but not yet. Mako is also down to play this with the 1 spike on her own side. So she is actually in a pretty good position here, I would say. But once this Forry officially goes down, yeah, M-Dragon is gonna be in a pretty good spot again. I guess maybe this Zapdos is more especially defensive than I thought. I don't know my Zapdos Forry calcs. Maybe it's also modest with some Spadef. It took like nothing from that Fire Blast from Tyranitar there. And it's actually going to do some significant damage with Toxic and T-Volt on this Celebi. And it's not impossible that this could have rest, I guess, but I don't think it does. And there's the Claydol that I predicted. There was another Rock Resist needed, and spin support as well. Nice Shadow Ball from M-Dragon there. if he had Shadow Vault too late, when the Gengar's already in, he might have had to eat a Wisp. But actually the Gengar is gonna trade with the Claydol here. Really nice Devon for Mako here. And her spikes are there to stay. There's the arrow that I predicted would be there in the beginning. And M-Dragon is in a tight spot here because this arrow has support of 3 spikes and also a burn on the Sphirachi, and there's no more rock resist after that. Yeah, Celebi or Blissey also makes sense last on this team, I guess. It's a pretty defensive team from M-Dragon. Very defensive Celebi with a heal bell and recover actually. And yeah, Mako's goal at this point is just to get more chip in and find safe opportunities for Arrow to just wreak some havoc. Also, this HP fire means that Aerodactyl is gonna have an even easier time breaking through. Also, nice recover on the predicted protect here from Mako. She's playing this immaculately, I have to say. M-Dragon also still does not have his 3rd spike on her side. And 2 spikes aren't that much better than 1, to be honest. The way it's looking at the moment, Mako's gonna take this home. This rest is gonna keep M-Dragon in the game though. He really needed to not get flinched here. Now Mako needs to be scared of perhaps a Sleep Talk? No Sleep Talk though. Or just Suicune stalling all the rock slides from Arrow anyway. Okay, it seems like this one does not have Sleep Talk, and Mako's Leech Seed Recover Celebi should be able to sit on it quite easily here, unless it has Ice Beam last. And there's that Ice Beam, like I thought. This team does have some problems switching into DD Salamence, so that Ice Beam is kind of necessary on here. Also, Celebi would just be so annoying without it, right? So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, Mako does force out the Suicune here because EQ damage plus Leech Seed is just too tough for Suicune. And here's a prediction game. She could click HP Buck here and just kill the Celebi, or go for a safe Rock Slide, which she does. And M-Dragon predicts that HP Buck gets his Zapdos taken out that way. Also, I didn't mention that because I glossed over it, but Heal Bell also healed the burn on Jirachi, which I didn't think about. That was actually really smart. So, in hindsight, this last turn makes even more sense, because M-Dragon could just safely Zack the Zapdos, and therefore get Jirachi in safely, which can now tank Rock Slides much more easily. And Mako saw that and realized she could go for very safe progress with that Rock Slide. Really nice turn from both there, to be honest. Okay. Mako can't really threaten the spin here, because this Jirachi does have Fire Punch. And M-Dragon does not go for any Wish shenanigans. Gets the burn on the Swampert, which is actually gonna be massive. Because now the question is, what breaks through this Jirachi? Aerodactyl doesn't really come in easily on it. It could also just protect on the Aerodactyl and see the lock. This Swampert, yeah, just cannot really break this Jirachi anymore. It can only freeze it. Tyranitar could perhaps burn it with a Fire Blast, or rack up some damage with the Roar, because Jirachi cannot just stay in and wish itself up. You can roar it out on the wish turn and then it takes some damage. But this is gonna be really tough, especially because that Suicune is back to full health. This has been an incredible comeback from M-Dragon. Wow. The Heal Bell Celebi really helped there, and the Zapdos sack was so good. I like that. Okay, the arrow is back in. Has to take some chip. And this Mako get the flinch in? No, M-Dragon predicts this turn right. Does not get flinched. And now he can safely go into Jirachi. I don't think Mako is going to stay in here for Rock Slide shenanigans. A nice Tyranitar sack to the spikes means that Aerodactyl is gonna be able to force this Jirachi out here, I think. Which Mako predicts with Forretress. Oh, and that crit means the Forretress cannot spin. Oh, there was also still the chance of para, but yeah, I think this one was to be honest. I think this one was over anyway. Even if that Forretress had spun, maybe if the Swampert was raw last, but it would have roared the Jirachi out. M-Dragon really baited me, to be honest, into believing that this arrow was able to win. And Mako set it up that exact way. And then he played his card so perfectly around it that he managed to avoid that sweep. Yeah, that was beautiful. I liked Mako's early game especially too, though. And honestly, I would have fallen for that same bait. But yeah, M-Dragon takes this very well played to both. Cool teams too. I like me some Forretress action. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Okay, and all of you who will be at the stream later, see you. And to everyone else, have a nice day.